Jimenez is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
The threat of severe weather is now upon us that may include heavy rain and damaging winds. It's our top story at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. We're starting with weather today because it may get a bit nasty in some areas of mid-Michigan. Meteorologist Kelsey Emery joins me now live in the studio. And Kelsey, we'd love to know when and where these storms may hit the hardest. What do you know right now?
Yeah, so right now we are under a severe thunderstorm watch right now, and we're looking at that watch being mainly in most of the area right now, and that's until about 10 p.m. tonight. There is a tornado watch down into Branch County, and that's until 8 p.m. for tonight. Let's take a closer look at our satellite radar. We're seeing quiet activity right now, just some pop-up showers and storms with some lightning in them. The bulk of this system is still back down into parts of Indiana and even into parts of Illinois and Wisconsin. That's all going to be moving in over the next couple of hours. The big time frame of this looks to be right around the 6 o'clock time frame, and then even as we head into the 7 and 8 o'clock time frame as well. And this is going to be mainly right along the I-94 corridor for tonight, and we are going to continue to see mainly gusty winds and some hail and possibility of a tornado possible from this over the next couple of hours. So just keep with us, and we'll keep an eye on the severe weather in the forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Sticking with severe weather, with the possibility of large hail, damaging winds, and maybe even tornadoes in the forecast. That'll be followed by a scorching hot weekend ahead. Consumers Energy is working right now to prepare for anything. 6 News reporter Sean Graney sat down with power officials today. He joins us now live just outside our studio with what he found out. Good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Jorma. Good evening, Jorma. Consumer Energy workers started moving trucks, essential materials, and equipment, as well as hundreds of crews to the areas expected to be hardest hit by severe weather. Storms are expected to hit the area around 7 o'clock tonight, and officials have a couple easy reminders to keep residents safe. Stay at least 25 feet away from power lines and report unguarded down lines by calling 911 or Consumers Energy. When seeking additional power, never use a generator in an attached garage, basement, enclosed patio, or near any air intakes. This could cause hazardous levels of carbon monoxide. Consumer Energy spokesperson Brian Wheeler says line crews will be working up to 16-hour days, and as communication and safety are the utmost importance.
This is a one-of-a-kind storm in the sense that we're really going into a period of very hot weather as well. So we're mindful that it's important to get power back on to people quickly and safely. There's a lot going on when it comes to a storm like this, but above all else, we want people to be safe while we work quickly to get the power back on.
Consumer officials urge drivers to watch out for trees and debris on roads from the storms, as well as getting around consumer trucks that are helping to restore downed power lines. Now, coming up at 6, I spoke to a consumers official about the scorching hot weekend ahead and what best to do to prepare. Jorma, back to you.
Sean, thank you very much. In a landmark case, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, upholds a Tennessee law that restricts certain gender-affirming medical treatments used for transgender minors. The law was challenged by the Biden administration and 3 families. Bradley Blackburn is here for you now with what's expected to happen now.
In a major case, the Supreme Court considered a Tennessee law passed in 2023 prohibiting treatments like puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and some surgeries for transgender minors. Opponents have argued the treatments are life-saving for transgender teens or those diagnosed with gender dysphoria. 26 other states have laws with similar restrictions. Tennessee argued it has, quote, a compelling interest in encouraging minors to appreciate their sex, particularly as they undergo puberty. In a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court said Tennessee's law does not violate equal protection guaranteed by the Constitution. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the majority, quote, our role is not to judge the wisdom, fairness, or logic of the law before us, but only to ensure that it does not violate the equal protection guarantee of the 14th Amendment. Having concluded it does not, we leave questions regarding its policy to the people, their elected representatives, and the democratic process.
This now allows states to make the determination as to whether or not they will bar transgender minors or anyone, to the court's point, from obtaining certain medical treatment for gender transition therapy.
Dissenting, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote with the decision, quote, "The court abandons transgender children and their families to political whims." Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
A key GOP lawmaker is telling 6 News Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic he thinks they will be able to finalize a new state school funding bill before the July 1st deadline. Now, weeks ago, the GOP speaker said the July 1st deadline would be missed. But critics and education officials spoke out because schools need the dollar amount to write their own budget up for their students.
You say you're 70% to a deal or less?
I'd say, yeah, I'd go with that.
Well, we'll have more details on this story coming up tonight at 11. A new study shows tariffs on imports to the United States are severely impacting a wide array of different industries and businesses across America. So today, the state's Senate Oversight Committee took a look at how this has been impacting the spending behavior among Michiganders. At the meeting, economic experts showed new numbers displaying consumer sentiment is at the second lowest level since the 1950s. The study also suggests that people from all income levels are not feeling confident about the economy, and many believe economic conditions to get even worse.
Consumers are fully aware that with this kind of uncertainty, it is very difficult for businesses to plan. And likewise, it's really hard for consumers to plan. So consumers are unlikely to be willing to make major decisions about their finances when there's so much uncertainty going on, and especially if they're worried that this uncertainty is going to lead to their incomes weakening.
One of those impacted industries is clothing. And with the trade war tactics making their way through the courts right now, the future is unknown. Rachel Ramsey is here for you now with how a mid-Michigan clothing business has stitched together a plan to survive.
Now, I'm no custom clothier, but Richard Taylor is, and he says his Lansing suit business has been feeling the effects of tariffs. He tells me he has found ways to work through it, though. Harrison Blake Apparel offers a variety of custom clothing options, which Taylor says are usually made overseas.
95% of everybody that is in the custom clothier space is manufacturing overseas.
Having been in the industry for a decade, Taylor says until now, prices have been really steady. But he says tariffs have created a 15 to 20% increase to his costs.
So it's kind of put us in a position to rethink some things, like change things up.
And that's exactly what he's doing. Taylor has some tricks up his sleeve that have helped his small business during these uncertain times, like having multiple manufacturers rather than relying on just one.
What if that country gets hit with a major tariff and it's just too expensive? So what we've done is we have 4 or 5 different manufacturers that we can use in 4 or 5 different countries.
Another way he diversifies is with what he offers, making sure people can find something within their price range. And even further than that, he markets his expertise to others in his field.
You can't put tariffs on that.
Taylor says that with tariffs raising business owners' costs, it may not feel like the right time to advertise. That's exactly what he says you should be doing, though.
This is the time where we need to let people know exactly what we do.
While he has not yet had to raise prices for customers,
I think I'm going to have to this summer.
But Taylor says being transparent and giving the client a good experience keeps them coming back. Through the ups and downs of this tariff drama, Taylor says it's important not to stress. Instead, think of ways you can adapt and find what fits best for you. Here for you in Lansing, Rachel Ramsey, 6 News.
Today, the State Health Department announced it has recorded its lowest rate of infant mortality in history. State officials say in 2023, 607 infants under the age of 1 died, dropping down the state's infant mortality rate to 6.1 infant deaths per 1,000 live births. Common causes of infant mortality include prematurity, low birth weight, and accidents.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, that severe weather is starting to move into the area. We're starting to see a lot of activity on our satellite and radar. In fact, we're also seeing some warnings right now as well. We're going to start with this one. This one is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Ingham County until 5:45 with 60-mile-an-hour winds possible. So just be aware of that as you're heading out the door tonight. This other one down into Branch County, we're looking at until at least 5:30, and that's going to have some 60-mile-per-hour winds. So just be aware of that. These these little cells will be packing a punch as we continue throughout the rest of the evening. Zooming out now, you can see that we're just getting started with the system. It's still making its way back into the area as we do have those very heavy rains, lightning, and even gusty winds in the forecast for the remainder of the night and even into the next couple of hours. Let's track this for you right now. We're going to continue to see the system move through right around the 6:30 time frame is when the heaviest of that rain will be moving through. In that, you could see some very gusty winds upwards to 60, possibly 70 miles per hour, and possibly even a tornado as well. So keep an eye to the sky, have multiple ways to receive alerts as we head throughout the rest of the night. We see a little bit of some quieter weather moving in as we head into the the rest of the night as we head into the 8:30 time frame. But then there could be even just a little bit of some lingering showers and possibly even some thunderstorms moving in as we head into Thursday morning. So again, just some very active weather in the forecast for right now. We're also going to continue to see the chance for some quarter-sized hail, the chance for gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour from this system. So again, keep an eye on the sky and have multiple ways to receive alerts. For right now, we're going to also see some very heavy rain with this system moving through, where we could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain, which could lead to some localized flooding, so just be aware of that as well. As we continue across the area, we're seeing those temperatures right now into the 70s, around 79 degrees right now. Winds are still calm, especially into Grand Ledge. Right now, those clouds are still looking a little bit angry as we head into the Capitol Cam. We're still having those temperatures into the 70s. Winds are at the east-southeast at about 7 miles per hour. We'll start to see those inch up as the system moves through. As we continue down into Hillsdale, we're seeing those a little bit of some cloudy skies. Trees are moving just a little bit and temperatures are still into the 80s. So we're still going to continue to see these quiet conditions for just a little bit longer before we have more active weather moving into the forecast. Temperatures are into the 80s as we head into Jackson, and for tonight we'll see those temperatures into the 60s with the scattered storms, and for tomorrow we'll continue to see those showers and storms in the morning, then getting a little bit better as we head into the afternoon and evening, and then by tomorrow night we'll see those temperatures into the 70s with partly sunny skies, and our dew points are going to really start to increase as we head into the next couple of days. You can see as we head into the weekend, they'll be up into the 70s as we head into the next couple of days. So keep an eye on that, but for right now, we're going to keep an eye on the forecast with these storms moving through, but take a look at the temperatures as we head into the end of the week. Temperatures are going to be into the 80s and 90s as we head into the weekend, with those dew points into the upper 60s to low 70s. So very humid conditions in the forecast as we head into the weekend.
Boy, those temperatures on Sunday and Monday keep going higher and higher and higher.
They do. Then they're lingering just a little bit.
95 with humidity, it's going to be 1,000,000 degrees
Honestly,
outside.
We were talking about this. It's a great weekend for a pool or an air conditioner, or if you don't have either of those, maybe visiting a mall.
I guess, yeah, exactly, right? We
Yeah.
appreciate that. Well,